Good morning, KB friends. Today I will be reading Sadie, the Paper Crown Princess. Sadie was a little girl not very different from most other girls. She played with her dolls and had tea parties with her friends. She liked pretty dresses and loved stories about faraway places. She used her crayons to bring make-believe places to life. She loved cupcakes, cotton candy, and pink lemonade. Sadie liked to borrow her mama's shoes and sometimes even her makeup. But Sadie also liked to climb trees and jump off the swings that hung from their branches. She was quite fond of making mud pies. She raced the boys in her kingdom over the hill on her bike, and often she won. Sadie loved baseball and that delightful tug on her fishing pole that signaled one thing. At night, her mama would tuck her in and tell her stories about Princess Academy, the school that Sadie would soon attend. There, Sadie would learn how to be a proper princess and earn her tiara. Mama would smooth back her wild curls and kiss her scraped elbows as she told stories of all the wonderful things to come for Sadie. Sadie wanted very badly to become a princess. But she wasn't sure she wanted to be just a princess. Maybe she would be a doctor or an artist. She thought she might like to ride a white horse and fight dragons. Or work in a library where she could spend the whole day surrounded by her favorite books. Sadie had a sweet heart that was full of imagination and adventure. She tried very hard to do well at the Princess Academy. Sadie was a good student and a quick learner in the classroom. She had impeccable manners and was very kind. She was helpful, considerate, and a good friend to everyone. But when it came time for the practical princess lessons, Sadie really tried the patience of all the fairy godmothers. Practical princess lessons, proper primping. Sadie had her own ideas about being pampered and her own sense of style. And friend, Sadie had such a hard time remembering the steps of all the royal dances that she asked us to not even share a picture. As her time at Princess Academy came to an end, Sadie knew that she was in danger of not earning her tiara. Sadie, the head godmother, said in her most exasperated voice, "You are a very pretty girl and would make a lovely princess if only you would prove that you really do have a royal heart." Determined to prove herself, Sadie prepared for her final exam. The girls would travel to faraway places and show all that they had learned, and maybe even meet a handsome prince. She practiced her wave and her curtsy. She packed piles of proper gowns and the fanciest sparkly shoes she owned. She drilled herself on the correct fork for the correct course. In the jungles of South America, the princesses slept in tents, but they certainly were not roughing it. Sadie tossed and turned and could not get comfortable. She counted sheep and read herself a bedtime story, and then she had the best idea. In Mexico, Sadie waved her very best princess wave as they all paraded down the street. Children selling candy and crowns made from colorful paper flowers to the crowd stopped and smiled as a princess rode by. Their bare feet and hungry bellies made Sadie forget all about proper behavior and earning her tiara. Sadie dashed to the curb and traded a little girl her precious sparkly shoes for a paper crown. She knew she wouldn't be any closer to proving she had a princess's heart, but she was filled with joy knowing the little girl would have plenty to eat when she sold her treasured shoes. In India, the princesses made a visit to an orphanage to cheer up the children living there. That night at dinner, Sadie wasn't hungry and couldn't concentrate on which of the many pieces of silverware she was supposed to use. As fast as Sadie could, she scooped up all those extra spoons and forks and grabbed as much food as she could carry and hurried back to the orphanage. In a small village in North Africa, the princesses were given honored seats as the children danced for them. Sadie was overwhelmed with the beauty of their giant smiles and joyful voices. The sights and sounds carried her to her feet, and there she learned to dance. That evening, Sadie sat in the courtyard confused. She knew she had disappointed the fairy godmothers and certainly not proven herself worthy of a tiara from the Princess Academy. She hadn't been prim and proper for more than a minute. At every turn, she had broken the rules to follow her heart. As Sadie sat and considered her trip, a young man playing soccer with some village children caught her eye. He had brought out a ball, and the boys couldn't wait for their chance to kick it around. Just when Sadie was about to leave, two little boys joined in. Sadie's heart felt heavy when she realized they were wearing only tattered t-shirts. The young man darted into his room and came back with his own clothes. Sadie watched as he rolled up the sleeves and tightened the waist to fit the much smaller children. In that moment, Sadie knew that she was a princess, even if her crown was made of paper, and she was about to meet a prince. The beginning. The end.